Hello everyone. In the last lecture, we talked about the concept of distance, displacement, average speed, average velocity and average acceleration. Okay? We learned all about all these concepts. These are very important to understand, which laid the foundation of physics. Okay? Now, today we are going to understand the concept of slope of a straight line. This understanding will help you to do the analysis of all the position time graphs, velocity time graphs and the acceleration time graph in a more deeper way. Okay? So whatever we have learned and whatever we are going to learn now, we'll try to connect both of them. Okay? So let us start. What do you understand by the slope of an line? Okay? Understand or understanding slope. Okay? So, you all know how to plot a graph. So, first of all, we'll do that. Okay? We will plot a graph. We will plot on a same graph y is equal to x, y is equal to 2x and y is equal to 3x. Okay? How do we plot a graph? We will take x here and we will take y on this axis. Right? X is our independent variable and y is a dependent variable. As I am going to change the value of x, the value of y will change. And how do we plot? In order to plot the graph, we always make a table, okay, where we keep on taking the value of x and calculating y. For example, for y is equal to x, we will plot all these three graphs in the same graph, okay, so that we can compare. Now, x is equal to 0, y will be 0. When x is 1, y is 1. X is 2, y is 2, x is 3, y is 3. Okay? So let us plot this. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And when I plot this, you will get a straight line. Right? This is how we will plot y is equal to x. Similarly, on the same graph, I want to plot y is equal to 2x. So for y is equal to 2x, when x is 0, y is 0. So this graph will also pass through origin. When x is 1, y will be 2. 2 into 1, 2. Right? So for the second graph, let me change color. Okay? Let me make it orange. When x is 0, y is 0. When x is 1, y is 2. So this graph will pass through the origin, but it will have much steeper slope or more slope. Okay, we'll come to this, that what is the meaning of the slope. Now when I plot y is equal to 3x, when x is 0, y is 0, right? And when x is 1, y is 3. When x is 1, y is 3. So let me again change the color and show you that this graph will look like okay. So this is y is equal to x, y is equal to 2x, y is equal to 3x. So what did we see in this? That when I am changing the multiplicative constant of x, right? So that constant which is being multiplied by x, I am changing the slope of the line. All the lines are passing through the origin, right? So what do we learn here? As the multiplicative constant of x changes, the slope of the line changes. Okay, what is the meaning of the slope? Slope means that you can just imagine this like a hill. The hill is becoming more steep. It is becoming much difficult to climb the hill. Okay. Another way of saying is that the angle which it makes with the x-axis, okay, that is increasing. So the slope of the hill is increasing, right? So as we change the multiplicative constant of x, the slope of the line changes. Now let us do something else. Okay. Let us plot. So this is the our first learning. Okay. Now let us draw another set of graphs. Again, this is x-axis and this is y-axis, right? X will be the independent variable and y will be the dependent variable. And this is origin 1, 2 and 3. Okay. Now here I would like to plot again y is equal to x, y is equal to x plus 1. Now instead of multiplying a constant with x, I am adding a constant. Okay. This is what is called as additive constant. Let us see what will be the difference in the curves. Okay, in the lines. Now y is equal to x will be the same line which will pass through the origin, right? When x is 0, y is 0. So you can just make a small table. Okay, x and y. I will keep putting the value of x 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 2, 2, 3, 3. Okay, this is a table for y is equal to x. Now what will be the table for y is equal to x plus 1? When x is 0, y will be 0 plus 1, 1. Okay, I'll make one more table for you. X and y. When x is 0, y is 1. X is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. When x is 2, 2 plus 1, 3. This is a table for x plus 1. Now let us plot this. When x is 0, y is 1. Okay, this is the point green. When x is 1, y is equal to 2. Right? 2, 3. So, what you will observe that you will get another line which is parallel to the first line. Its slope is same, but it has been shifted. Okay. So, when you plot, you will see that you will get a line like this. So, this is y is equal to x and this is y is equal to x plus 1. Okay, this you will learn in maths also, but this is very important for the understanding of the concepts in physics too. Okay, so there will be many things which you require to learn in maths, okay, so that you can appreciate the physics concepts. So here, when you plot y is equal to x plus 2, you will see that you will get another line which will pass through 2. Okay, so this is y is equal to x plus 2. Now what I have done here I have multiplied a coefficient with x, okay, which has changed the slope of a line. Here I have added a constant, okay, so which has shifted the line. These are the only two things which you can do. By changing these two constants, you can make any line of this world, okay. So here what we observe that if we change the additive constant, it shifts the line, keeping same slope. Why same slope? Because the constant which is being multiplied by x is same everywhere, 1, 1, 1. If you change the coefficient of x also, then that will change the slope also. But here I am just doing one thing. I am adding a constant to x and which I am changing. I am not changing the coefficient of x, okay, which is being multiplied with x. So this is a very, very important exercise which you all should do. Okay, you can pause the video and you can plot the graphs and see if you get the same result. Okay, now here what I can write? I can write the most general equation of a line. This will give me y is equal to mx and this will give me y is equal to x plus c. Now if I combine these two conditions, what will I get? I will get a most general equation of a line, which will be, so most general equation of a line is y is equal to mx plus c, where m is the slope of the line and c is called y-intercept. What do you mean by that? Intercept means the amount of the constant which it cuts on the y-axis. Okay, it can be on the x-axis also. Okay, so m is called slope of the line, which means the angle which it makes with the x-axis. Okay, and c is called y-intercept. Okay, so this is how we can write the most general equation of a line. Now let us do one more exercise. I want to calculate the value of this slope m. Okay, so how to do that? So the most general equation of a line is y is equal to mx plus c. Now let us take, this is an equation of a line. Let us take a point x1, y1 on a line. Let us take a point x1, y1 on this line. So if this is a point on this line, this will satisfy this equation, right? So what do we get? y1 is equal to m x1 plus c, right? Equation number 1. What is the meaning of this? That if y is equal to mx plus c, when x is 0, y is c, right? So this is not passing through origin. If c is some value, c is 0, then it will pass through origin. So for example, if y, this is x, this is y, right? Y is equal to mx plus c. For example, if I take this line, any line you can take, and I'm saying that on this line there is a point whose value is x1 and y1. Okay, this is x1, y1 on this line. Okay, this is the meaning. So this point, if it is on this line, this will satisfy this equation. So I have substituted the value. If x is x1, then y will be y1, right? Now let us take another point on this line. Let us take another point x2, y2 on the same line. Okay, so for example, if this is a point, so basically this is the x2 coordinate, and for x2 the value of y is y2. x2, y2. Okay, so now this will also satisfy the same line. You will get y2 is equal to m x2 plus c. Now subtracting equation 1 from 2. Okay, I'm just subtracting. I want to calculate why I'm subtracting. You will see y2 minus y1 is equal to m x2 minus x1. C minus c will be 0. What is this? This is equation 3, right? So I can calculate the value of m from here. So what do I get? M is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is what is called as slope of a line. Okay, so here what is this? This is x2 minus x1, and what is this? y2 minus y1, and this is x2 minus x1. So this is called as you might have learned rise over run, right? So how much is the rise? Y2 minus y1. How much is the run? X2 minus x1, right? So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is what is called as slope of a line. And later on, when you learn trigonometry, you will see that this slope is also equal to tangent of theta. Okay, this will also you will learn later on, that this m is equal to tan theta. If you have not learned till now, it's perfectly fine. You can just go back and see my videos on trigonometry. Okay, you will learn that what you mean by tangent of theta. But those who have already learned, you will see that this is what is called as the slope of a line, right? Now let us see a very important, connect this with the concept which we have already learned, the position time graph, velocity time graph, acceleration time graph. Let us connect this knowledge to our previous understanding of those concepts. Okay, so now, okay, I hope this is clear. One more thing I wanted to tell you, that all the lines, when they are drawn like this, okay, what they will have? Positive slope, okay, and all the lines like this will have negative slope. This is positive slope, and all the lines like this will have negative slope. Okay, that you will learn in trigonometry also. Now, instead of y and x, let us do one more thing. Instead of y and x, let us take, if we take x and t, we can do the same thing, right? So, for example, if I take t time here and position here, right, on the y-axis, then time will be the independent variable and x will be the dependent variable. So basically, x is the position of an object and t is the time. As the time is changing, the position of an object is changing. Okay, so let us draw, for example, one line here. What is the meaning of this, right? Now you know that, let us take a point here, x1 t1, another point on this line, x2 t2. If I ask you to find the slope of the line, of this line, how will you calculate? This is t1, this is t2, and this is x2, right? And we have already learned that what is the slope of the line? If this was y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, but instead of y, we have x here. So the slope will be x2 minus x1, and run will be how much? t2 minus t1, right? Now what is this? This is delta x over delta t. And we have already learned what is change in position over change in time. This is the average speed, right? So there is an important connection with this. The slope of distance time graph gives you the speed of an object, right? That's what I have proved here. This is what is speed. And instead of distance, if I take displacement, the slope of a displacement time graph will give you the velocity of an object. Okay, the average velocity. So this is the, so what is the important lesson? The slope of distance time graph gives speed of an object. Okay, and the slope of displacement time graph, if the object is moving only in one direction, then it will be same. Okay, distance and displacement will be same. Displacement time graph gives velocity of an object. Okay, so if the slope is a straight line, right, then the slope is constant, right? Now we can see a lot of connections here. Instead of the position time graph, if I take velocity time graph, okay, and this is time t, this is in meter per second, and this is in seconds. Okay, now what do we see here? The slope of velocity time graph will give you what? Let me take this point to be v1 t1, v2 t2. Okay, so the slope of velocity time graph will give you v2 minus v1 over t2 minus t1 delta v over delta t. And we have already learned that this is what is acceleration of an object, right? Rate of change of velocity of an object. And this is given by acceleration, average acceleration. Okay, here we can write average speed. Is this clear? So what we have learned, that just by learning the concept of the slope, now we can see those graphs, that from those graphs it becomes obvious to us that the slope of distance time graph gives the speed of an object. The slope of displacement time graph gives the velocity of an object, and the slope of velocity time graph gives the acceleration of an object. Now whatever graph you see, you can immediately see in terms of the slope of an object, okay, and then you can see whether the slope is constant, zero or changing. You can understand the motion of an object, that whether the object's velocity is changing, acceleration is changing, and many things which we were not able to understand earlier, now we can understand very easily. Okay, I'll give you some examples. For example, if I take a velocity time graph, okay, and draw a graph like this. What I have told you earlier, that how do we read this graph? As the time changes, the velocity of an object is constant. It remains the same, right? Now if I want to see, or if I want to say in terms of slope, then what can we see? What is the slope of this line? How much angle it makes with the x-axis? 0. The slope of this line is 0. If it is parallel to the horizontal x-axis, the slope is 0. It is not making any angle, right? So here the slope is 0. Slope of velocity time graph. And we know that slope of velocity time graph gives you acceleration, right? So what does it tell you? That acceleration of an object is 0. If the object's acceleration is 0, it means rate of change of velocity of an object is 0. It means, what is acceleration? Delta v over delta t, right? v2 minus v1 over t2 minus t1, this is 0. It means v2 minus v1 is equal to 0, v2 is equal to v1. It means object's velocity is constant. The same information which we have learned directly from the graph, you can get from the understanding of the slope, right? Now, if the slope of this graph is, for example, like this is velocity time graph, or before doing this, let me make a straight line, okay? So here, how will you get the slope? v2 minus v1 over t2 minus t1, and the slope of a straight line is always constant, right? It is not changing. So here, slope is constant. I am now talking about second graph, okay? This is first graph, second graph. Slope is constant, okay? It means that here, this is v1 t1, v2 t2, okay? It means acceleration is constant. Please note, there is a difference saying 0 acceleration and a constant acceleration. 0 acceleration means rate of change of velocity is constant. It means that the velocity is constant. Rate of change of velocity is zero with zero acceleration. Okay, it means that velocity is not changing. Whereas saying constant acceleration means rate of change of velocity is constant. It means the object's velocity is changing but at a constant rate. Okay, and that's what we see in this graph. Okay, so here whatever, for example, a car's speed is changing, car is moving in a straight line, right? In first hour it travels with 30 km per hour, 40 km per hour, 50 km per hour. Its speed is increasing, right? It means the car is accelerating, but it is possible that the car is accelerating at a constant rate. That in 1 hour, whatever be the change in the speed of the car, that remains the same. That is the meaning of constant acceleration. Okay, so now, and also if the graph is like this, the slope is positive. It means acceleration is positive. Saying positive or negative acceleration does not tell you whether the object is speeding up or speeding down. Okay, this is a very, very important point, and I am going to talk about this more, right? Just by saying positive velocity, negative velocity. Okay, many students, they get confused in this concept that if I am saying acceleration is positive, the car is accelerating. If I am saying acceleration is negative, the car is deaccelerating. No. Okay, one has to be very, very careful. Just by giving the sign of an acceleration does not tell you whether the object is speeding up or speeding down. You need the sign of the initial velocity of an object too. Okay, to tell you whether the object is speeding up or speeding down. Okay, so for example, let us talk about that. For example, the velocity of an object is positive. Velocity is positive. Okay, positive just means choosing the coordinate axis, right? That I am saying that this is positive direction and this is a negative direction. Okay, positive x-axis and negative x-axis. Now, saying positive velocity, I am saying the object is moving in this direction, right? So velocity is positive because velocity is rate of change of displacement. Displacement is positive. The sign of displacement will give you the sign of velocity. Now, acceleration is positive. If acceleration is also positive, right, it means that the force is in this direction, in that direction, right? The direction of acceleration is the direction of the force. It means that is supporting the object. It means it is supporting the speed of an object is increasing. Okay, if both initial velocity and the acceleration, they have same sign, whether they both are positive or negative, the object will speed up. Okay, so here the object will speed up. Now, if the velocity is negative, okay, the object is moving in the negative x direction and the acceleration is also negative. Okay, then also it means the force is in the same direction in which the object is moving. It means again the object will speed up. So it does not matter whether the acceleration is positive or negative. It depends upon the sign of the velocity, initial velocity of the object also, that the object will speed up or speed down. Okay, so in this case also the object will speed up. Okay, so this is a very, very important point. For example, if I throw, we can understand the same concept in terms of the vertical motion. Okay, for example, if I throw the ball up, then I am choosing upward direction to be positive. That is my choice. Okay, if upward direction is chosen to be positive, I throw the ball up, so initial velocity of the ball is positive, but the acceleration due to gravity is downwards, so it will be negative. It means it is pulling the ball down. The object's speed will decrease, right? Because the initial velocity of an object and acceleration, they both have opposite signs, right? They both are in opposite direction. Force is not supporting the object, right? It is opposing it. So the speed of the object will decrease. So the object speed will decrease till the highest point, and then at the highest point it will be 0, right? And then while coming down, the speed will increase, because then the velocity and acceleration both will be negative, both will have the same sign. Okay? Another important point, that it is possible that momentarily the velocity of an object can be 0, but still it has an acceleration. And I just gave you an example. At the topmost point, when I throw the ball up, the velocity of an object, it becomes 0 momentarily when it changes the direction, but still it is having an acceleration, right? Acceleration due to gravity was still there. Okay, so we'll talk more about this. I'll give you more examples to understand whatever we have done till now, right? Think about it. Okay, we'll do a lot of example more on this, and then see you in the next lecture. Okay.